If you pay close attention to the YouTube streets, sometimes it can help you along in your real life. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is another episode of Backpedaling and Pussy Popping. Funny thing. Okay, so last weekend there was this whole little situation that involved Wanda. You all know Wanda from Frank and Wanda in the morning over at V103 Atlanta, and Katt Williams. There was an interview that went left. Wanda and Katt end up joning on each other, back and forth, back and forth. Katt literally, well, child, I don't even got to tell y'all. Katt literally drug Wanda, drug her. It was interesting. It was very interesting, and it was like a shutdown. It got a little uncomfortable, to say the least. He drug her. But again, she's a big girl. She's a comedian. He's a comedian. She lost. Well, as the weekend progressed, Katt was actually going to be at a comedy club or whatever down there in Atlanta during the weekend. This thing kind of blew up because they posted the video, from their show, and it ended up going viral. And there was more stuff going on allegedly around this in their real lives. Wanda's husband ended up calling Franksky and giving him a piece of his mind because he didn't jump in and stop the banter back and forth between the two of them. Then Wanda, well, they actually come back on today. I see the video where they had like a 45 minutes whole situation where they were taking phone calls, they were going through some of the comments, and Wanda was giving her piece about how she felt things went and how they should have went, and she was basically she had turned this whole thing around to where she had become the victim. I don't know where she got that from. Because where I was sitting at, she started it. Katt was interviewing. Katt was saying things. Because he ended up going on dragging like Tiffany Haddish, Kevin Hart, talking about his thoughts about them as comedians and the comedy world as a whole. She didn't agree with the things he was saying, so she started kind of rebutting, and then it just got personal. But Wanda, you're interviewing. Just interview, let the man say what he's going to say, and keep it moving. Ain't nobody tell you to jump out there trying to stand up for Tiffany. Tiffany was at home. Tiffany's at home, honey, eating chitlins. She wasn't paying attention or thinking about what was going on. And you jumped out there in the street, a mess. Like I said, and then it went on, and then there was a whole altercation with Wanda's husband and Katt at the comedy club later that weekend. It just done went too far. But it was really ridiculous for her to come back in there, get your ass back up on to the radio, and then talk about Frank is at fault, and because he didn't stop it at all, he didn't protect you. What the hell is that? Because the truth of it, and I lived for how Frank was so real. He did not get down there and he didn't backpedal and pussy pop. Wanda did. He didn't do it at all. He said, hey, I was hurt that you even feel that way because I'm not a comedian. I know nothing about it. As far as I was concerned, y'all were two comedians going back and forth with each other. The shit was funny. And you did lose. You did lose. He drugged you. You lost. But when your husband called me, I was really thrown off. And I'm like, so your husband tried to bully Frank, huh? That was a mess. That's a whole mess. Don't jump your ass out the street if you don't know how to eat. Don't do it. Do not do it. That is so ridiculous. Like I said, it's so funny how real life mirror images YouTube a whole lot of times. Reminds me of a little situation from a couple months ago when somebody jumped their ass out there in them YouTube streets, talking reckless out the mouth, and then when they found out that they couldn't win a couple minutes into it, and shit turned left, and then you got embarrassed, then you got upset with the person who gave you the platform by which to speak. You got upset with them for not protecting you. Well, who was going to protect him? You know, it's not his job to protect you. You jumped out in the street and got reckless. And then you got lashed with a little bit of spillitboy tongue, honey. I'm just saying. Same thing that happened here. Wanda jumped her ass out there in them streets. Katt slashed her, honey, with a cat of nine tails. Whoosh, 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 tore her ass up. And now you are faulting Frank for not jumping in and helping you out of a sticky situation. Who was going to protect Frank from Katt? Because if Frank would have jumped in there, Katt would have wished him too. That didn't have anything to do with Frank. That had everything to do with you jumping out in the street, just like that other child. Jumping out in the street, running your mouth, and then backpedaling, pussy popping, and playing victim. Absolutely ridiculous. And then she got up there, folks start calling in. All you did was embarrass yourself yet again. Yet again. One call where somebody said, they said something about Katt, but all the rest of the calls was giving Wanda the business. Giving her the business. I said, well, girl, that didn't work out real well. You did better to just leave it alone. You don't know when to stop. But you weren't the victim, sweetheart. You started it. Katt definitely finished it. Anyway, I wasn't even going to talk about this. When it happened, I said I ain't even going to mess with that because it was just terrible how he drug her. But then when I seen her doing this, I said, girl, backpedaling and pussy puppet. Couldn't help it. Had to come talk about it. Anyway, go over there and check it out, y'all. Go check out the videos and see what y'all thought. V103 Atlanta. Old Frank and Wanda and the Morning. A mess. Wanda, don't start nothing that you can't finish. And then she said, I don't do that. I don't do that back and forth. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You do it. But usually it's you joning on other people. There's usually nobody talking back at you. And Frank even said that. He's like, we have torn people up in here. We've hurt other people's feelings. We've done that. We've drugged people on the show. That's what we've done. We've done it. You know? And he even said, if it had gone the other way, if you had won, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. I said, oh, girl, you just embarrassed yourself, honey. A mess. Anyway, all right, you guys. I'll catch y'all later.